Welcome to another edition of Litter Media Live for Wednesday. It is August 13th of 2025. And you were talking, there was rumble and light, and you had a lot of rain last night.
It was a deluge, and the lightning was very intense for the probably about 30 to 45 minutes that we had that going on.
We had a lot of that, but we had no rain hardly. So it was, the ground was dry when I got up this morning. So hit and miss on those showers, but we're looking at more hit and miss.
Possibility. We had 1.5 inches of rain in Frankfort late last night. There's a possibility of a shower or thunderstorm this afternoon, mixed in with some partly sunny skies. And then a lot of the sunshine kicks in, it appears, for Thursday through the weekend. We expect highs to be in the mid to upper 80s. We have been seeing a couple of instances where outdoor activities for some of the high school fall teams, they've moved it to later in the evening. I saw a couple of posts on that last night looking for today. So it's going to be rather warm at times out there. So remember all of the regular information we give you when it's real hot like that. Drink plenty of water and stay hydrated if at all possible. And if you can stay indoors, if you have breathing problems, that sort of thing, do so.
All good things to keep in mind. Coming up, we'll take a look at what's making news for us today, a look at sports, and also just ahead, this date in history. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll have our Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week, and we're taking nominations for our Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. All that available through littermedia@gmail.com. So if you want to make a nomination, please do so. If you got a photo to throw in there too, that'd be great as well. Plus some information about your pet or your athlete. All right, coming up in a moment, a look at news. But first, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. They've been doing this for nearly 50 years now. And that being said, that means they've been around for a while, and they know what they're doing. And people keep having them coming back. If you would like their services, simply click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, and it takes you to their website, accuratehvac.com. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Tecumseh. Fascinating. Captivating. Mesmerizing. Tecumseh.
As we jump into news, you can follow along with us if you like on some of the information we'll share with you. It'll be on our website, littermedia.com. While you're there, if you've never been to any of our social media platforms, all that information is in the upper right-hand corner of littermedia.com, including Litter Media Radio, Spotify, our YouTube channel, and more, all at littermedia.com.
Many of our area schools are heading back to class this week, with more coming back next week. And with that, we want to remind you to use caution when traveling in the morning and afternoons when bus drivers and student drivers are occupying the roadways. Make sure you stop for school buses. Stay alert and know when to stop. For example, on a 2 or 3 lane road, drivers on both sides of the road must stop when a bus is dropping off or picking up students. On roads with 4 or more lanes, drivers traveling the opposite direction of the bus do not have to stop. And if you're looking at the screen, you see the examples of that. So please, please, please be extra careful out there with the kiddies heading back to school.
You know, we worked mornings for so many years, and after I joined Litter Media, it was an adjustment for me driving while school buses are around on the road and having to remember those things. So as the kids get back to school this week, you'll certainly want to remember that. And first day of school for Huntington is tomorrow. They've got their open house tonight. So
I think the teachers go back Thursday in Frankfurt and the students on Friday.
And you're all excited, aren't you? All right, we've got some street closures to think about because street milling and paving will begin on Shawnee Drive from Limestone Boulevard to Fruit Hill Drive today. While crews are at work, motorists should exercise caution on these streets. Residents will still be able to access their homes though there will be brief delays. You may have to sit and wait for them to do something before you can get in your driveway. North Page Street is going to be closed between Main Street and 2nd Street. That's 6 a.m. Friday until 12 p.m. Sunday for sand in the streets. And speaking of, don't forget the sand in the streets will be dumping all that sand Friday morning to make room for the battle on the beach between the school boosters, followed by the Beach Fest featuring the Dave Matthews Band. You'll find a clip of the band in our Facebook feed for complete details. If you've never seen them or heard them, they're pretty good. I was checking them out yesterday. Visit downtown Chillicothe, Ohio on Facebook for more details.
Homeland Credit Union, one of our good sponsors, is extending an open invitation to individuals impacted by the Chillicothe paper mill closure to join a series of free coffee chats at their 25 Consumer Center Drive Chillicothe branch. Now, the sessions will be held on August 20th and 27th, and again September 3rd and 10th from 8:30 to 10 a.m. During each coffee chat, attendees can enjoy a relaxed, welcoming environment with complimentary coffee, while speaking with Homeland Credit Union staff about important financial topics such as IRAs, budgeting, loan assistance programs, and more. So especially for you former paper mill workers, something you might want to check out.
There's a new book on the market. It is One by One Panda Fun. And yesterday in studio, Scott Richards was sharing some of the book with us. And Scott's a former sports writer for the Chillicothe Gazette. Some of you have known him in the construction world these days also. But he's constructing a book. And he did not do the illustrations. He caught up with a gal from California that helped put this book together. But this is his first venture, and he talked about what it was like to see it actually come to fruition.
You know, being at the newspaper and in sales and construction, I've been in a lot of rooms with a lot of people. But to be able to sit in this room today and talk about something that started with a simple little rhyme that was as simple as, 3 little pandas in the trees, another one shows up, now there's 3. That was the first draft, right? It's really something special to be in a place where you kind of always wanted to be and thought you could be, but now you are. And it's just a matter of doing was it. It was 14 years ago I wanted to try this, and I tried it again, and I'm actually struggling to put it into words of what it's like to see a finished copy and go, man, that actually happened.
Pretty good moment for him, and of course a good moment for kids too. I had a chance to look through the book a little bit, and you talk about these youngins who are learning how to, first of all, count, but read, and they can follow the pictures. And as he was showing us through left and right, you see like this one page on the left has 3 pandas in it, and the rhyme goes with 3 to make 4. And then you see the 4 over on the other side. And it goes on all the way through to the very end. So if you liked the Go Dog Go books and things like that, you're going to like this with your kids, preschool and younger. Pretty cool.
And good luck to Scott on that venture. The Ross, Pickaway, Highland, Fayette Solid Waste District is going to host its Hard to Recycle Collection event on Saturday, September the 6th from 8 a.m. until noon at the Ross County Fairgrounds. Now, this event, which, by the way, is open to residents of each of those counties, is offered only once every 2 years, providing residents with a rare opportunity to properly dispose of household hazardous waste and other difficult-to-recycle items, including tires, electronics, paints, chemicals, batteries, and more. By participating, residents can help keep harmful materials out of our landfills, waterways, and the environment. And this list here, and you can find this within our website story at littermedia.com, it gives you a list of the acceptable items that you can bring and the things that are off limits. Don't bring these. It's even got the disposal fees there in the box on the lower right-hand corner. And you can give the Solid Waste Management District a call if you have any questions.
And that's always one of the big questions is what can I do and what can I not do?
Yep.
So there's a whole list for you right there. Coming up on Saturday, August 23rd, it's an opportunity to enjoy some ice cream, but also be there for the dedication of Hayes Court. Thanks to the generous donations from Pat and Elaine Hayes and the Rotary Club of Greenfield, the downtown area now features a beautiful new court. And here, this was on greenfieldrotary.org. Here's the final workings, and there's Pat supervising as he can there. We know Pat from his days at WVNU over the radio station in Greenfield. But a nice little area where they can get together, have conversations, and just a place to sit and relax. But pretty cool event. And Pat and his wife have been fantastic for the Greenfield community. So if you'd like to participate, please do so Saturday, August 23rd. And I'm trying to remember the time on that.
I believe it's 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, yes. There it is right there. So glad we brought that back up.
The heat's on to find donors this summer to give blood. The Red Cross will be saying thanks with a $15 e-gift card to your choice of merchant when you come in to give at the various donor locations August 1st, which is on now, through the 28th. Go out and give the gift of life. Our road reports in Vinton County today due to a landslide. One lane is closed and traffic is being maintained with temporary signals on State Route 278 between Cabin Ridge Road and Long Ridge Road. Estimated completion date will be later this month, August the 29th. And sports will be coming up here shortly.
Yes, we have sports on the way in just a matter of moments. And I want to take a moment to remind you that this date in history is just around the corner, too. So those of you that think that this is not an educational program, we got news for you.
Think again.
It's coming up in just a bit.
It's the details that make the difference between good enough and simply the best. At Skag Power Equipment, the difference is in designing lawnmowers with your convenience and comfort in mind. At Skag, we believe that quality and substance matter, and that you'll appreciate the attention to detail and craftsmanship we put into every single product. Thick steel and heavy-duty components provide you with unmatched reliability and performance. Skag, simply the best.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Pain was interfering with Tiffany's active lifestyle. Same-day hip replacement at the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute got her back to the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Time for sports, and we've got a lot of high school sports already here. The month of August is blanketed with golf and tennis.
Yeah, we've got just basically half of the sports going. When it gets full tilt, there is no season of the year in Ohio that has more sports than the fall sports season.
And that really cranks up this weekend, right?
Yeah. Haynes Total Healthcare Center High School Scoreboard has Westfall claiming the first 2 rounds of SVC Boys Golf yesterday out at JC's. They won the first 9, or the front 9, with a 159, then bettered that with a score of 156 on the back 9. Now, the co-medalists for the front 9 with 37s were Huntington's Tucker Taylor, who was last week's Player of the Week, and Westfall's Colton Brungarth. Now, Tucker then came back and won the back 9 medal, and he really did this one up.
Pretty good score.
3 under par 33. So congratulations to Tucker Taylor. Now, in girls tennis, we had Waverly beating Athens by a score of 4-1. And, yeah, the one loss that they had, you'll see Leah Parker suffered an injury. So that goes basically not as a complete forfeit, but they say she retires because of a medical situation. So, and elsewhere last night, Big Walnut a winner over Lancaster by a score of 4-1.
Reds had some electric of their own last night. A lot of lightning going on, and they had a nice 6-0 lead, thinking, hey, we're going to go for the shutout. Bryce Harper snapped all that with a 9th inning home run, but Reds win. And they are happy to be winners. They go for the sweep, well, not a sweep, but a win for the series today. Hunter Green gets the start. I believe it's a 5 o'clock start due to Train performing afterwards.
Mm-hmm. They were, if you were watching this game last night, Mole was on in the end. And I don't want to take away Bryce Harper's ability to hit long home runs, but he was just trying to get strikes because it was starting to rain. They kept saying, in fact, they were telling the fans,
pouring rain.
take cover immediately because of lightning and wind. So he was just trying to get the thing over, and Bryce took advantage of it.
Did you see how often they were switching the baseball out?
Yeah.
I mean, it was
almost
like
every pitch,
precisely. And when Mole would get it back, it would be like, okay, do I have a grip on this or not? But here it comes. I'm not taking my time. Yeah. And he got right at it. Yeah. And the Guardians picked up a win as well, 4-3 over the Marlins. They've won, 11 of their last 13 games or 12? Something. Yeah.
Fried the fish. I like the little. So congratulations to the guy.
You can only get away with that in the sports world, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Mm-hmm. And now, coming up later, we have this date in history. We're going to go back to 1961 today. The beginning of dark times in Eastern Europe. All that's coming.
Were you born in 61?
I was born in 59.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So we were 2 years into the dark days at that point.
Yeah. You were born what year?
I'm kidding. 62.
Oh, so, you weren't even around.
So I came in on the tail end of all this. That's why I can't remember.
You came in during the missile crisis.
It was just crisis when I was born.
Mom was scared, there's no bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about their metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Want to tell you about low prices. I said low prices.
Did you say low?
I said low. Choose from a wide selection of Skag mowing equipment, but you better hurry because at Hometown Motors, almost said Eastern Avenue Lumber, Hometown Motors Incorporated, the prices are low for now, but when the inventory goes, so goes the prices.
These are crazy low prices.
Crazy. Who came up with this idea? Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Do yourself a favor and call Hometown Motors Incorporated at 773-8826 for more information. Hometown Motors Incorporated at 818 Eastern Avenue, Chillicothe, your store for the great outdoors.
You know, we reside here on Eastern Avenue with our Litter Media Loft, and for the first 7 years that I was here, if I needed something hardware-like, I would kind of trot down real quick to Eastern Avenue Lumber. Yesterday, I went that way, and my intent was I had to go purchase a new garbage can. So as I'm going down, I'm thinking, I'll just pull into Eastern Avenue Lumber. And I forgot, no, it's a resource center now for our friends here, the Ross County
Community Action.
Thank you, Community Action.
And when you do something for 50 years, it's kind of hard to break the habit. You know what I'm saying?
Precisely. This date in history, we're happy that this habit was broken eventually.
Yes.
But this is where it all began.
I was too young to remember when this happened in 1961, but I'm certainly old enough to remember when it all changed for the good. But on this date in 1961, East German soldiers began laying down barbed wire and bricks as a barrier between Soviet-controlled East Berlin and the democratic western section of the city of Berlin. After World War II, of course, defeated Germany was divided into Soviet, American, British, and French sectors. The city of Berlin, although technically part of the Soviet Union, was split in those sectors. But the good news is, on November 9th of 1989, and I do remember this, masses of East and West Germans alike gathered at the Berlin Wall and began to climb over and dismantle it as the symbol of the Cold War repression was finally destroyed. But it all began on this date in 1961.
We always, when we were growing up, we would see, like on this side, it was all colorful, full of life, and on this side, it was very dank and dark. And when in 1989, I don't remember what was Nightline, the show that was going on when they started showing people, beating down the wall and everything, and tearing it down. I think that was the first place I saw was ABC's Nightline, and I couldn't believe my eyes because all my life that Berlin Wall had always stood.
Yeah. Now, when they had they had a great big celebration later on. I think that might have been in 90. The thing that I never knew was how big David Hasselhoff was in Germany as an entertainer.
Yeah.
And he was there singing on the Berlin Wall. And I thought, this is Baywatch guy. What's he so big over there about?
Baywatch and Knight Rider. Yeah, those were the two things we knew him for here. But, man, he was a singer. He was like...
he was almost like Elvis to them.
Yeah, kind of a little bit like maybe Wayne Newton, maybe
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But he was big in Germany, and I don't know if that's because of the Hasselhoff name.
That could be.
I don't know if Hasselhoff is his real name. Was it a stage name? I don't know.
That I don't know. I think you'd come up with an easier one than Hasselhoff if you had a stage name, like Smith or Jones or whatever.
When I went to work at WRAC down in West Union, we had a fellow by the name of Leonard Schmidt. And I want to say that Leonard was from the Bainbridge area. And I've not seen Leonard since those days. So we're talking 1981, 82, right at the turn of the year. And I recall we were discussing what all the announcers' names were going to be. And Gene Bowen, who was our lead announcer, our program director, operations manager, he had worked for WABC in New York, had a fantastic voice. But he says in this meeting, he says, let's keep Leonard's name the same way. Nobody's going to believe that that's not his real name. So he said, let's just go with Leonard Schmidt.
Yeah.
And
and with Smith, of course, my first on-air terrestrial radio gig was what's now Hank FM. It was WIBO.
Yeah.
You later worked there at XIZ.
XIZ, yeah.
But it's like Smith. That's pretty simple. We'll just leave it at that.
I didn't have an issue until we went to Columbus, and I was working at Sunny 95 in the background. I was Dan Ramey to start, and then Bill Curtis was our midday guy.
Not the Bill Curtis.
No, this was another Bill Curtis. And Bill had taken a job for a competing company, competing company in Norfolk, Virginia. So our parent company, Saga Communications, owned another radio station in the market he was going to, and they were direct competitors. I mean, they were scavengers going at it, the whole deal. So they came out to me and they told me, hey, tomorrow we need you to fill in. So I said, okay. I was like, what's happened to Bill? Well, Bill's leaving us. It was one of those immediate things. It's like, since you're going to go to work for a competitor, you're, out now.
Yeah.
So I was an emergency replacement, and we went through, I think, 2 weeks of that. And I had been working just weekends, but working in the production pit, doing commercials and that sort of thing throughout the week. And so they came in one day and they said, stop saying your name. And I'm like, oh, they must have hired somebody, because I was there on a Saturday and they brought this guy in from Evansville, Indiana. And I thought, okay, he's going to be our next guy. So then after my show was done, they came in and they said, how would you like to do this full time? Sure, that'd be cool. Well, there's one caveat. We're changing your last name. And Bob Nunley, the late Bob Nunley at the time, he was our assistant program director. And when he told me, he said, I walked into Don Hallett's office, the program director, and he says, hey, take a look at these names here. And he had this little sheet of paper and had 5 names on it. And he says, what's this? And he says, this is going to be Ramey's new name. Why are we changing his name? Well, we just want to change his name. So he picked out Mitchell. So that's where Dan Mitchell came from. Mitchell is Bob Nunley's brother's last name. Iron Mitchell is his brother. So at any rate, making a long story as short as I can here, the reason they wanted to make the change was because of the ratings books. John Ramey, R-E-M-Y, was doing the news at WTBN at the time. At the same time, I was on the air, and they wanted to make it so that there would be no confusion in the arbitrary or Arbitron diaries and all. So that's how all that happened. But to take this one step further, Iron Mitchell went to school with my buddy Don Irvin, who sings the national anthem around the country. They were together in Otterbein, and they knew each other. And he says, you're kidding me. You know Iron Mitchell? I said, yeah, I know Iron Mitchell. And it's small world stuff that happens. Right. It's crazy. Don and I, of course, went to high school together and everything. And then he went on to stardom, and I was just a guy.
I was thinking of popular radio announcers that had a stage name in our area, Spook Beckman.
Yeah.
His real name was Frederick Ferdinand.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Wolfman Jack was Bob Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go on, but yeah, that was a common thing. Dave Logan, who worked at WTVN, got his start in Chillicothe. I think Truman Morris, if Larry Roberts is watching, would know this. I believe it was Truman that changed his name to Logan based on Mount Logan.
Yeah.
But I think his last name was Greasy.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was Dave a Jackson boy originally, or where was he? Wasn't from Chillicothe. He just worked here.
Boy, maybe Jackson County, Wellston, maybe.
I think Wellston is right.
Wellston had another fella, the real Steve Edwards.
Yeah.
He was from Wellston, and he and I worked together briefly at the station before I came back to Chillicothe, and he was looking for a gig. His days at WNCI had come to a close, and so they hired him, and I'm like, wait a second, you're from Wellston?
Yeah.
And he says, yeah, I know. But I'm the guy that says, Jags. And he was the voice. And I'm like, man, I'm standing in the same room with the same guy that does that stuff. But Fritz the Night Owl never used his last name on the air, but Peerenboom is his last name. And that's why the Night Owl seemed to fit perfectly for him.
Of course, with Flippo, that's a character that he did. But we talked to him on the radio one day. What was his?
Bob Marvin.
Bob Marvin. Yeah.
Or maybe it was Marvin's. Because he had a restaurant, didn't he? It was like
that I didn't know.
Marvin's Restaurant, and I believe he was involved with that. But Flippo the Clown, 1950, 56 through...
all my growing up years.
79, 80, 81.
I know he was on still in 1977 because that's how I found out that Elvis Presley had died. Flippo was at the Ohio State Fair, and he would always come in during the movies that they showed, commercials, and he announced that at the Ohio State Fair. So.
To see him in the early days, I remember, the 25th anniversary of WBNS, they were showing old shows that they used to have. And I think it was one whole week. It was during the summertime, so ratings didn't matter. But they were showing what the nighttime lineup was. And part of that, the promotional stuff, they went back and they showed Flippo.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, he looks anorexic because he was a skinny guy wearing this clown outfit. The one I had grown up with had, ballooned into what we all knew and loved as Flippo the Clown. And it just threw me for a loop to see that. And now I'm sitting here thinking, gosh, that was the 25th anniversary?
Right.
How old are we? Goodness.
65 right here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would think that, didn't Channel 4 recently celebrate 75 years?
Yes, they did. And so did NBC. So they must have come on
about the
same time that the network started. So.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Reliving some old times and some good times.
We used to do a Dan and Mike radio bit at the end of the show, and we've kind of osmosed into that a little bit here today. So, all right, coming up tomorrow, help me remember. It seems we have a special edition tomorrow?
Not unless it was added, because the only one we had left was Friday, and she had to reschedule.
Correct. You're right. I did. We've been looking at the next week and planning ahead and everything, and my weeks are getting crossed. Yes. Calendars are crazy.
Well, everybody's waiting for the Pet of the Week tomorrow. That's the big Thursday thing.
That they are. They're also waiting on our producer to come back, so we make sure we're on task with everything, too. And
he ran away and got married.
Yeah.
Run off and got married.
As far as we know, they're happily married. And,
I'm sure
still,
they are. Yeah.
We haven't heard anybody coming back early. Nothing like that from the honeymoon. So we'll keep an eye on it. And you keep an ear on us. So, all right, that's it for the program today. Thank you for watching. Back at it again with another edition of Litter Media Live tomorrow here on this same channel.